Hi guys, this is a review on two 5.8 GHz video transmitters from Eachine. These are the ET200R and ET25R. I'm gonna run through what you get in the box. Then I wanna do a range test with cloverleaf antennas, your rubber duck antennas, and with a helical antenna on my monitor with diversity. And I want to see how these Eachine transmitters compare to the TS5823 mini receiver transmitter, which is quite common, and also against a 500 milliwatt surveillance zone, no, sky zone transmitter. Yeah, since the weather is quite uncooperative at the moment, this is going to be the first part of the review, and here we're just going to go through what you get in the box, what you have to do to get your video system up and working. Here are the two transmitters shipped. They're shipped in a really nice box, quite small but sturdy, so will be protected during shipping. But over here we have content. You have a manual saying pretty much which bands you can use with this transmitter, and this transmitter is 40 channels, so it does have race band, which is the difference between your normal ET200 and ET25 and your ET200R or 25R. So the R stands for race band. So what you get in the box is the manual, a breakout cable for your DIY guys who want to make up their own wiring loom. You get a rubber duck antenna. Let me just pull this out. You get a cable setup for the transmitter if you use a 3S battery. So you can plug this into a balance port, or if you're a 3S battery like here, I have the balance port here, so I could plug it like that, and that would power up the transmitter. And then here's a little lead for a Eachine 700 TVL camera, which has this connector on it. So if you buy the entire set, the camera, the transmitter, and that's it, then you can just plug and play. You don't have to solder anything, which is quite nice, I think, since if you're new to FPV and you don't want to solder, it's nice to have all the cables ready for you, so you can just plug and play. And then the last item in the box is the transmitter itself. Everything is packed in this really nice foam, so everything is protected. I don't really see how anything can be broken in postage. So I really like the packaging. It's safe. There we have the port for the breakout cable. We have a single button, and then we have LEDs on the bottom indicating which band and which channel you're on. So this is my TS5823. This is about a year old, I guess. And this has the dip switches. Unlike this guy has a button, single button that you can use to change channels and bands. So I like this a lot better. It's a lot handier. You don't have to remember how you have to have the switches set up to get whatever band. Here you can just press it and it will show you you're going from channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then long press to change the band from A, B, E, F, an R. And at first I thought there was something wrong with or there was a misprint or something, since if you look really closely, pretty sure we can't get this in the shot, but yeah, on the bottom you have letters A, B, E, F. That's for the bands. But this was a 40 channel, which should have race band on it as well, and there's no LED for that. But I read in the manual that if you press it until you have all the lights on, that's race band. So it doesn't have a dedicated LED, it just uses all the other ones on it. So yeah, you can get 40, or you do get 40 channels on this out of the box. So yeah, I use, let me show you, these kind of wiring looms on my cameras, where I have servo connector and then a JST plug for power. This uses 12 volts, and this can accept 12 volts. So what I want to do is, or what I like to do, is make a loom like this. Just get the top 3 pins from the plug, and just add these little I'll show you these guys. These are just pins, header pins. You have 3 in a row, so those fit perfectly on your servo cable, servo lead. So yeah, that's a light and neat way to have an FPV setup. And if you have a craft that's long and you have to change it, you can just use a servo extension cable to extend the length of the setup. This is quite a standard way of wiring up your video gear with the servo cables. There we go, we have a picture. And on the transmitter, like I said earlier, zoom in so you guys can see. Sorry, wrong way. Here we go. So you have the 2 LEDs. The ones on the side are for the channel, and the other ones on the right side are for your band. So A, B, E, and F, or A, B, C, D. So this is a Bosscam 200 milliwatt transmitter. The connectors are huge, but it's okay since you have a dedicated power connector, and then you have your wire loom connector, and these are really hard to pull out. I mean, in flight they don't come out from vibration or shock or whatever. But if you compare the size of these, it's, yeah, this is half of what this is, and this is really thick. This is thin. This is like, actually it's a lot less than half. The heat shrink on this guy is about the same size as the entire transmitter, the new version. So this is a 200 milliwatt version transmitter. It's a few years old. This is about 2 years old. It's a 500 milliwatt version transmitter, and yeah, you can see that size difference. This has a protective aluminum case around it, but still, the size difference is, yeah, notable. Then you have your, yeah, this is 225, and here, this is sort of the first generation of these mini transmitters. This is the TS5823. This is the one that I've been using on my mini copters for a while, and they're about the same size. The main difference, in my opinion, is on this side, where you have the dip switches, and in here you have the LEDs. I like this a lot better. I mean, this is so much more convenient. And also the 5 volt out. With this you have to have step down regulator for your camera if you're using a 5-volt camera. The first impressions of the transmitters are great. They're very small. The nice little button there is accessible, even though I just heat shrinked this entire device. Here you can see what I did with the cables. I just created the loom, plugged it in, then heat shrinked everything. So this cabling goes inside the heat shrink. So even though if there's a little bit of pull on it, it won't come out. It won't damage the socket. And yeah, so far it looks promising. What I want to do in the part 2 is a range test with these transmitters. So I want to compare the 25 to the 200, see what kind of range I can get. I want to compare the rubber ducky to the cloverleaf, and then I want to compare the 200 to the 500 milliwatt version. And the monitor and receiver that I'm going to be using is the Eachine 7-inch monitor with diversity, and I have a cloverleaf on it and I think that's a 7-turn helical antenna. And yeah, as soon as the weather clears out, I'll be going out testing the range on these guys, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Hit the like, subscribe. Thanks and bye.